And we are live. It is I, the Rabbi, along with my dear friend, the Mayor. How you doing today, Mayor?
Very excellent. Very excited for what we've been waiting for the whole season, our league Super Bowl title. So very excited. I mean, of course we're not in it, but it's our league Super Bowl title, so it's exciting regardless. And we have two exceptional challengers in it. So yes.
The truth is, I wish that Yahoo, our fantasy league, let you and I face off for last. I mean, I guess I already won last place, so there's nothing to compete about. But you are looking at the two losers, myself finishing last place and you finishing second to last place. But we are blessed today to be with the winners. I want to welcome right now all of our live audience, the hundreds of you with us right now. Also, I'd like to welcome those of you tuning in, the hundreds of you tuning in later, who are maybe sleeping at this moment before the critical moments leading up to the finale today. But welcome, everyone. We're going to keep things pretty simple today. We just wanted to interview our, we're playing, I think we should call this, I don't know, the Kiddish Cup, or the Cholent Bowl. We'll call it the Cholent Bowl, the Jew Pro finale here. The winner, I think, should, in addition to a trophy, maybe get a bowl of cholent. I think it'll be nice. So welcome again to our many, many viewers. Good to see you with us this morning. You're not here to see me. You're here to hear what it's like to be a winner, as we now are preparing to interview the two head-to-head finalists, Brandon Fisher and Dov Cohen. Without further ado, we'll call up one of you at a time. And I'll turn it over to Ben. One second. Sorry, I'm going to mute myself. Okay, awesome. Here we are. Welcome, Brandon.
Hello. Hey, Brandon. Wow, it's so great to see you. How does it feel to now be in today's Super Bowl, our league Super Bowl or Chunk Bowl matchup?
I guess the Cholent Bowl. It feels great. I'm excited to do my best here. It's been a tough season, and I pull it together with a lot of help from the waiver wire.
I have to ask you. I think against me, Brandon. I think going back to last season, you're a perfect 4-0 against me. It cost me a championship last year. I think against Danny. Are you 4-0 against Danny too?
I think so. I think
yeah.
That's a combined 8-0 against us. How have you pulled that off?
Wow. I just step up my performance. This year was particularly difficult. Unfortunately, I guess it cost you both the last places. So if I'm responsible for you about last place, sorry about that. Can't control Derrick Henry though. Sometimes he just goes off.
He does. That was an incredible pickup last year.
He was. Did I get him off of the waiver last year?
I think you did, actually, if I recall.
He was worth my fifth overall pick this year.
That's a good pick. So I mean,
with all the injuries, we could have a team that's still together. My second overall pick, Julio Jones, is not playing today, so that's a bummer.
Yeah, actually, I drafted Julio Jones last year, and he was good some weeks, but yeah, I was like, I'm gonna maybe let someone else pick him this year. So, but now he's helped you to this round, even though he's not playing today.
Helped me for a few games, but skipping the playoffs doesn't help too much.
Right, that's true. So your choice of I have to ask. I mean, your choice of quarterback. You're going with Jalen Hurts, who has I think all of maybe 3 NFL starts so far. I got to ask you, how are you going with Hurts as your quarter? I mean, it's a very interesting choice to go with Hurts with only Hurts to win the title.
I like the way the team is rallying around him. He's sparked a new entry into that offense. He's a dual threat on a lot of yards on the ground, and I just like him better than the quarterbacks who are available on the waiver wire. Completely not trustworthy. And He had 40 points for me last week. So how do you bench someone like that?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's almost Alvin Kamara level from yesterday or from 2 days ago.
I got a question,
Okay.
Brandon. What do you think it's going to take to beat your opponent, Dove? You know, he's been right in first place all year, and I think, how are you going to take him down?
Yeah, he has been. But both had our wide receivers yesterday not perform so well. Both putting up less than 5, so that kind of evens the playing. I was the player I was most worried about. So I feel optimistic about that. I'm expecting Hurts to put up a big game, but I'm really going to bank and ride on Henry. I think he's going to get a lot of points today. He's got a pretty easy matchup, and I'm deciding about that though. I don't feel so good about flex options, and it looks like I just what's my running back from the Niners. Got 26 points on my bench, so that's a killer. But I think I've got it. I think Derrick Henry is going to carry me through. And my kicker, I think that's the one. He's been my high scorer like 3 different weeks.
Who's that?
Koo. I don't even know.
Yeah, great. Does your worthy opponent have any players that worry you today?
Yeah. Well, I'm most worried. Hopkins, but I could see Aaron Jones going big today. AJ Brown has huge. You know, if Derrick Henry does well, it's AJ Brown. AJ Brown will do well too because they're on the same team. So it's going to be kind of a weird matchup. Who's going to get those touchdowns? We'll find out. But that's who I'm worried about the most.
Wow. At the moment, it's giving the Yahoo app is giving you a 62% chance of victory entering today. How do you feel about that? Do you agree with that, or are you cautiously optimistic?
Percentages. I've seen higher percentage leads, so I'm fit, but refuse to be too comfortable.
Right.
Meanwhile, packing for Israel. I'm going to Florida tomorrow, and so today is my day to pack for Israel and Florida, which is kind of complicated as I pack for winter in one place and Florida in the same suitcase. It's going to be quite the packing job today.
Brennan, how can you even consider packing it on such a big day? I mean, this is the ship. I mean, this is a big deal. And somehow you're going to manage your fantasy monitoring along with packing for these major trips you're going on?
I made sure to have my TV set up in every room where I might be around the house. So I'm all set, got games on, and I can have different games in each of the TVs. So I'm all set on that one.
Nice, kind of a packing while watching setup.
Exactly. It's tough. Like I already win the Cholent Bowl today, number 1 priority. And then the second priority would be to pack for Israel and be prepared there. But you know, I could always buy some stuff in Israel, but you only get the Cholent Bowl once in a while, once in a lifetime, really. It's not something you frequent.
Right. You sort of already planned your trip to Disney World if you win, essentially.
That's
right. I'm all set for the celebration. That?
How are you going to celebrate your victory in the event you win?
Well, like Ben said, maybe a trip to Disney would be fitting. Otherwise, maybe a good round of golf in Florida would be just good enough.
Now, if things don't hold up and Dove ends up pulling out the victory, then does that mean you would cancel your trip?
You know, Israel just wouldn't be the same without that bowl of cholent that I have the option of winning. So it would definitely hurt my yeshiva experience in Israel if I don't win that cholent bowl. And I might have to cancel that whole trip altogether in that case. But I guess I'm feeling good about it. I think I'm going to get that cholent bowl. I think it'll trip to Israel. I'll still go. I think I'd have to go either way.
Right. I think they would understand if you did end up canceling. You know,
Right.
You know,
Right. I got an email from the rabbi over there this morning saying, "Good luck in your fantasy. I know that, your chances of coming depend on this." So he's putting a special note in the wall for a good week for me.
beautiful. And if you do win, what, how do you foresee that changing things for you in your life going forward? And how will you have us refer to you by? Will that that'll bring on a new title, a new name? If you had defeated me one less time last year, you would have to be referring to me as Sir Champion Mayer. What will things be like for you and your title after today if you win?
It's hard to imagine. This is a life-changing event, as you understand, and I don't know how my life is going to change. I'm preparing for all the media that's going to be following me around. I've got my place in Florida secured, so the paparazzi can't come too close. But I'm excited. I'm excited for all that. As far as title change, I'll just continue to go by Brandon and maybe Binyamin, but nothing too crazy because then we both share that name, I guess, as champions.
Ben,
Do we share
maybe,
Binyamin as you?
his Hebrew name is Binyamin. Ben Mayer, you can live vicariously through your namemate, championship sweethead. So that would be a nice thing. Maybe you have to root for Brandon on this one.
You're saying, Brandon, I can have a share of that sweet, sweet championship glory if you win?
They say it comes with the name, And we're reading about how special Binyamin was in the Torah portion at this point in time. So, we're really in good shape here with our name.
Oh, wow. Well, I might reserve the right to claim a share of it. We'll see. And I would consider maybe like a little title, maybe, something just modest, like, Prince,
How about a
Prince
scoop of
Brandon.
Cholent? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Prince sounds good. I don't need to be Lord or King yet. And then if I win, maybe you could have a scoop of Cholent for me.
Nice. I appreciate that.
I have one final question, Brandon, for you, and then I don't know if there's anything I'm missing. But Brandon, what do you have to say to your opponent, Dove, right here? Do you have any words you'd like to share with him about?
Yeah, Dove, you've had a great season. I've looked up to your team, and your management's been spectacular all year long. I'm sorry about McCaffrey. That's a blow, and I can't imagine how good you would have done with him on your starting lineup. But good luck and great job, great season.
I appreciate it. I mean, good season to you as well.
Thank you.
I do have to say one thing that's terrifying about your team is that you kind of I know you were in the top 10, top 5, but you kind of in the last part of the season you kind of came out of nowhere, and you've been putting up 100, 110, 120 points in the past few weeks. I personally have been barely winning by like 2 points, 3 points. So your team definitely has a chance of exploding. So
last week was fascinating. I was watching both of our scores, and I think you were projected to get 125, and I got 102, and then you had me. So that was good enough to win. That doesn't affect you this week, but it would have been a close matchup if we played each other last week.
I would agree 100% on that.
I would just chime in. If my son of Rami made this ship, he lost last week. He would defeat both of you because he did have Kamara in his 6 touchdowns and 151 points and 50 some odd fantasy points. I'm sorry, Lee, you had to play him for 3rd place, but you guys are pretty lucky. He had an off week on the kick job. I'm sorry when he did that one, but I'm moving vicariously through him, and I hope to taste that 3rd place sweetness, God willing.
Yeah, no, I would definitely have to say I got lucky last week.
For sure.
What are we calling the last place trophy?
Sorry, what did you say, Brandon?
What are we calling that last place?
Ben, what do we call my last place finish? What do we call that?
Well, I mean, should we stick with the traditional, so-called Sacco trophy, reference from the league TV show? So I guess we're calling it that, I think.
You can call it the Sacco trophy holder. I can call it the holder of the #1 pick in next year's draft honor.
It could be that. It could be that. So, Doug, welcome. It's
Thank
great
you.
to see you. You've been in first place pretty much this whole season from beginning to end. You've been the leader of the pack.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like at one like I was like second place, but otherwise, yeah, I think I've been first place.
Yeah, congrats. I think in our matchup, if I recall, it was pretty close. I think you won, but I think it was like one substitution, like one player away from beating. If I'd played like started one player instead of another, I think it was pretty close. So
Yeah.
a confidence booster for next year. They're like, oh, we can. But I mean, you've been dominant. I mean, yeah, a few close victories, but otherwise some very dominant, big victories also.
Yeah. Definitely. I definitely had some players that, when they were healthy, they were definitely putting up 20 odd something points, and it's just a bummer because I only had McCaffrey for like 3 games, but I was just every week I'm just like hopeful that he might be able to play, and he's. I'm honestly surprised that the games I've won without McCaffrey because I've just been scrounging around for like waiver wire running backs who I'm actually playing one this week. Um, so I don't know how that's going to turn out, but
Which running back is that?
I think it's Ian Smith with Atlanta.
Mhm.
The one he's the starting running back for Atlanta because Gurley's out,
Wow.
but Kansas City's been shutting down running backs for the past like 8 something weeks or something like that. So I don't know, but because Atlanta's got such a big passing game, it might allow the running game to be a little bit bigger this game, but I don't know. So like I'm kind of banking off of some waiver wire picks, and I also picked up Hartman from Kansas City.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
he's been playing
Hardman.
well lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean
we'll
it's
we'll see.
incredible. Yeah, it's incredible. You've been been in first place the whole year, essentially without your first round pick. I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost like you forfeited your first round pick, and you're still head and shoulder. You're still in first place, which is, I mean, that's pretty remarkable.
And I like to just chime in. Do you attribute any of that success to your mustache? I'm just saying for the first time, and I'm loving it. Have you rocked that the whole fantasy season, like a fantasy mustache? And perhaps if I would try that, maybe I would fare better than last place.
I mean,
can you elaborate on that for me?
so I started off the season. I believe I went like I think it was like 7-1 until obviously I lost. But I do have to say I started growing this in November, and I have been having closer games towards the end of the season. So I don't want to say it's not necessarily like what's been helping me because
Oh,
it's
wow.
honestly been making fantasy a little bit more stressful.
Okay.
I started it off without it.
Wow. Okay. So maybe that's what's keeping it interesting, right? Because if not for that, maybe you'd be blowing us all out even more than your close games. So
I grew it to humble myself, I guess.
okay, no, that's great.
Make all the matchups a little bit easier for everyone.
We appreciate that. We do appreciate that.
It helped. That may have been the difference. Of Rummy's 10th of a point win that qualified him for the playoffs. Or at least that helped to get into the playoffs. So it might all be due to the stash.
Who knows?
Have you started planning your celebration yet? And if so, what does that look like? How will it be kept socially distant and safe? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, so I don't want to jump the gun because I still have to win. So I'm not going to plan anything because, I don't want to show up to a party that I planned and be like, hey, I got second place. So I got to take one thing at a time. So I still have to win. So we got to go with that. I do have to be completely honest. I'm completely terrified of Derrick Henry because he puts up like 30 points a game. I don't really have a way to combat that. And my number one wide receiver kind of put up 4 points. So I'm kind of behind at the moment. Even though I'm winning, I'm kind of behind. So I just wanna take it slow, see what happens, not jump the gun.
Okay.
Because I
Maybe
don't like the premature celebrations.
In anticipation of winning, Brandon has already planned a back-to-back trip, as you heard, to Florida and to Israel in celebration. So you're taking the opposite approach of not pre-planning any parades or celebratory trips quite yet.
Not really, no. But
No,
I'm
don't-
sure. I do have to say, a bowl of children does sound really good.
yeah, we'll make that happen for you. I got you on that for sure. That's a given. Now I do have to say, I like your approach. Actually, it's something I struggle with personally. I tend to talk it up a little bit in my own performances, whether in fantasy or in real life football or basketball, for that matter. But the Mishnah Pirgavos says, "Lo midrash ha'ikar ela ha'maisa." It's not how much you talk and how much you say you're going to do. It's about just doing it. So I like your approach. It's like, let's just hold off on the talky talk until I win, and I like that a lot. I like that. That's a good approach. That's beautiful.
I mean, it only like if you plan a celebration, you don't win, and you like, what did I do wrong? But it's like you just gotta go one step at a time.
It's kind of like how Haman planned his own like parade that was meant to be for him, but really it was for Mordecai, and he planned his own the gallows for Mordecai, but that ended up being for him. So
Exactly.
he was kind of going to just jump the gun on that one. I like that.
Exactly. I agree.
If you do win though, what plans, what type of celebration, and what type of how do you see your life changing going forward, and the type of impact that it will have? Because as you know, a championship lasts forever.
Yeah. Well, I don't really want to be like the Dallas Cowboys in like 30 years, talk about the championship I won so long ago. But I've definitely thought about changing my Facebook name to like champion of the Jew Pro League, and then putting in my Facebook status, just putting it out there, letting everybody know that I won. So I've thought about that.
Yeah, that's a great way to celebrate.
Yeah, and I mean, this goes to the top of like one's Wikipedia entry.
We should make a special Jew Pro account TikTok video dedicated to the winner. Honestly, and part of the celebration for whomever that is.
I like that idea.
Okay.
Beautiful. Wow. And if you win your new name, what would your title be going forward? Simply champion. What do you have in mind for that?
Honestly, I kind of like my name just Dove the Cohens, but next year I was thinking of making my name Dove the Repeat Cohen, because it's gonna happen twice.
I like it.
I like
what
that.
did the Chiefs say? Run it back is a.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, I could use that.
Wow. Hearing Mayer, hearing all of this championship talk, I'm jealous. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, Danny, we thought we were going to be here at this.
I thought we'd be interviewing ourselves.
I know. We thought we'd just be interviewing ourselves.
I mean, you guys have something to work up to next year, because the worst case
next
scenario.
year we can focus on maybe finishing 9th and 10th place. We can aspire.
I would be remiss if I did not say that the most glorious moment in my lifetime was when I won the Jew Pro Torah and Turf Championship. Not fantasy football, but like the real thing, where like you run outside, you catch touchdowns, you do dances on logos. That I did win last year, and that was the most glorious moment. That's why I'm just kind of missing out on that feeling of playing for the ship and the glory that comes with that, and the way that impacts and changes a person's life forever. I wish I was there, and I'm jealous of you, man. Wish you the best.
Thank you.
I know you got to get ready. These games are about to start. I'm sure. How do you plan on spending your day? Maybe as one of the final questions.
So I like, full honestly, I really don't pay attention to the games as they're happening. I usually look afterwards because I know there's only so much I can control while the games are actually happening. So I usually only look like after, but because there's a championship, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna sit down and watch the games like on NFL Red Zone and see as they're happening because it's pretty big day today.
It's a big day. Biggest day of your life, I might argue.
Yeah.
Have you ever won a fantasy ship before? Or is this the first time you're going for it?
So my first league I made when I was like 8 years old was on Yahoo, and I actually won. And that was I don't know if I was like eight or nine, but I actually picked up Michael Vick, who ironically plays for Philadelphia, similar to how Brandon picked up Jalen Hurts, and he just like put up big points. Michael Vick did the same exact thing for me when I picked him up and I won. So it's that waiver wire Philadelphia's quarterback that can run that really helps.
Wow. Crazy. Okay, well, I wish you a blessed, glorious, good day. It should go well. And yeah. Now, Mary, any other questions for our contestant here in the plan for the Chalent Bowl?
No, I think that covers it. I think the games are gonna kick off. Do we have Brandon? Can we bring back Brent?
I think Brandon, he went to go prepare mentally. I think he had like a meditation session before, so we lost Brandon. But do you have any words to Brandon? I'm sure he's watching amid his meditation right now.
I mean, good luck to him. His team's really strong, and he's definitely deserving of being in the position he is right now. But I was first place the entire season, so you can't sleep on me because I've somehow always been able to win those 11 games I did. But I think it's going to be a good matchup. And I hope that Derrick Henry doesn't score as many points as he's going to.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not every year where we get like the number 1 and 2 seeds, facing off head to head.
Yeah.
Whereas, we didn't last year. We had so yeah, Dov. So congratulations on making it this far. If you win today, you'll be wire to wire number 1. Good luck to you. Good luck to both of you, and let it be an incredible championship day.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Amen. Beautiful. Dov, thank you so much. Best of luck. I'll let you get to the screen. You got 3 minutes till kickoff of the first game. Good luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys have a good one.
Take care.
Enjoy.
All right. So that leaves us, Ben, just 3 minutes before kickoff. I did want to end off on a little bit of Rabbi wisdom. I also want to assure our viewers next week we intend on bringing back the champion to give a victory speech as well as the loser to give a concession speech. We are going to demand that of the loser. Now for some Rabbi wisdom. I'm sorry, there's a little lag, I think. Looks like we're back. But I did want to share some Rabbi wisdom. And that is, in life, you need to do, as the Rambam talks about, follow the Shvil Azov, the kind of the middle road. Not to get too on the end of any part of the spectrum, ups and downs. I'll tell you, after Drew Lock put up 4 touchdowns 2 weeks ago, I knew he was the guy for this year, for next year, or forever. He was the guy. I knew it. I knew that we would blow out Buffalo last week, as I predicted. And as well witnessed last week, I think he had less than 100 yards, like well into the third quarter. Just a performance that I probably could have replicated, honestly. And it was terrible. And I was really down. So in life, you got to take kind of that middle path and not to get too high, too low. Just stay the course, stay focused, kind of like what they say about stock investments. Kind of stay the course. Don't freak out when there's drops in the markets or there's increases. Just kind of stay the course, follow your strategy. And I think that's a good lesson for life, is try to stay on that middle healthy path. So with football as well, fantasy football, this year we're feeling the low of the low, Ben. I mean, we're on the way bottom. But I believe in myself. I believe I can come back. I'm not going to get downtrodden and distraught over this. I'm sure you're not either. We're looking towards next year, already watching film on the upcoming draft. We'll do some mock drafts maybe. And I think it's going to be for the best. So we got to stay that middle course. And that is the Rabbi wisdom of today.
Agreed. As Kobe said, next season begins right now, as his words were after 1 year when he didn't win the championship, and they interviewed him right after the game, and those were his first words right after the game of his season ending. Right then and there, next season begins right now. So I guess for us, next season begins right now, but we can vicariously take part in today's championship matchup between Dove and Brandon, and vicariously pretend like it's us.
And I forgot to give a parting message about Dove and Brandon, but I'm sure they're watching. My message is to that 3 is not the winner, as if Rummy knows, and 2, nobody remembers. From Nelly himself, no one will remember you, number 2. Don't become number 2. Do not. So,
as a former second place finisher, I remember my second place finish. That counts for something, I think. Yeah.
No one else does. Anyway, Ben, it's been a pleasure as usual. It's now kickoff time. We will let our viewers get to the games. Thank you all for tuning in. Good luck to Brandon and Dove. We'll keep you posted next week with the outcome and a victory and, God willing, concession speech. All the best.